Yeah, they had that on the
It's
ESPN.
7 o'clock. I'll call this session of St. Mary's City Council to order. Roll call, please.
Bosler,
Here.
Harris,
Here.
Ginner,
Here.
Slemons,
Here.
Willoughby, Buck,
Here.
Fitzgerald,
Yep.
All right, you can join me in the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You all should have a copy of the minutes from the previous meeting in front of you. If there are no corrections to the minutes, I'll accept the motion to accept. Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. Slemons. Come for vote, please. Yeses, thank you. Petitions and communications this evening. You're going to see a sneak peek at our website. So I don't know who's going to do the presenting, but I'm going to get my head out of your way so you can do that.
It won't matter.
This is coming online soon, Friday, correct?
Yes, we're excited to be launching our new city website this Friday. We wanted to share it with you. We've been working with Midnet Media out of Minster, Ohio. This is a totally updated. We sent the last bit of information to them today, so I'll show you some of the services and information that we have online. It's going to be easy to use, it's functional, and most importantly, it's going to be easy to maintain, so we can keep adding additional information and changing information. Okay, let's see here. Kind of dark here. Okay, this is our main page, obviously. You'll see where we have the latest news in St. Mary's here. These are different things that are taking place coming up here this year, the Bunny Trail information, the technology fair. We have mandatory tax filing now in effect. Here's where we hired a new police officer. If you click on that, it comes up, his picture comes up from the council meeting.
When is the website going to be effective?
This Friday. And then over here that you'll notice that we have the calendar of meetings and events. You click here. We need to keep updated when the meetings are on this calendar, and then on the front page it'll list the 2 most current meetings that are happening on the main page here.
Sue, the big calendar,
Mhm.
I know it's going to be kind of a tall task, but is that also going to list the committee meetings?
I'm not sure.
You'll take that
We can
under
look at that.
advisement?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then these tabs we added here are bid openings, and this is not done yet. They have information here that they haven't added yet, but all the bid openings will be listed here. This is a test bid. It'll take you to the bid site where it'll have all information here, like the legal notice, the plan holders list, the bid results, and the bid award. So that will be very useful. Another thing that we've added is city service requests. People can now go online and fill out this form, and here's some examples that they can tell us about. There's a street light problem, a traffic light, trash complaint, there's a dead animal on the road, there's wires hanging low or other, and they can submit this directly online to us just by clicking submit. Employment opportunities. Now they can fill out applications online. Here's the application for seasonal employment. Hopefully it'll come up here. Hopefully I can get back to where I was too. Let's see if I can get back up here. And then our other application will be online when we have an opening. Here's all our permit application forms, and then to watch council meetings, that'll be, all you have to do is click that button there and the council meetings will come up. We don't have a live one on there yet. So, and then here's the business and development. The Economic Development tab, that's something we have just made changes to today. You can click on that and it'll take you directly to St. Mary's Develops. You can see there's a tab for the Chamber of Commerce. About Us, this will go to the schools. And this will click right to their websites, colleges, universities, vocational schools. And then over here is the same tabs. Here's some community organizations and clubs. What to do. A list of all the places to dine at. So a lot of information. Here's a direct link to the Chamber of Commerce again, public library, a little bit about our history. And I'm looking to add more pictures about our history as well. Try to get just a tab that has a bunch of photos. I think that would be interesting. Now, as far as government, Craig Noble was gracious enough to give us this information on the statutory form of government. So that information is there. And there's a tab on city administration. See everyone's photos and contact information. There's the mayor's site, as well as information about performing marriage ceremonies. Items we get questions about. The auditor's website. Color's a little off here. Here's councils. All your photos now are online. And the legislation will be on here, and again another link to watch the council meetings, law director and assistant director's information.
Hey Craig, talk to Jeff, he needs a more serious picture.
And then here's other additional information about all Glaze County officials.
Can I post a younger looking picture?
No. There should be a law that no one's allowed to use a picture older than 5 years.
And then you can see the link to the codified ordinances. And then here's the tab to all the departments. One thing that we added with the departments is this frequently asked questions. So, you know, what questions are they getting calls about? So we try to answer those. Let me click on the fire department. Here's their apparatus.
Where's the fire?
A little bit about their department history. Some pictures, and hopefully we can add to that as well. But here's their frequently asked questions. You know, can I arrange for a tour of the fire department? Can I ask for a speaker to speak at a local meeting? All the way down to how do I get a copy of an EMS report? Here's something we added. We added their photos. And the different programs that they have available. General services, there's frequently asked questions for them. Here we'll talk about brush pickup. There's photo on that. Leaf collection. Snow removal, we just took pictures last Wednesday. These are the trucks. There's some more. And then here's about disposing of yard waste. As you can see, the photos add a lot to it. And then here's the Industrial Community Development Manager. The parks. We're not done taking pictures of the parks. This is being updated. But you'll see we did get some photos taken. There's Rolling Hills Park. Memorial Park. And there's a form if someone wants to reserve the park online. There's West Oaks Park, we did a good picture of. Personnel office site with, again, the frequently asked questions, that link that I previously showed you with the employment application. There's also going to be a link regarding health insurance. We're going to put our plans online also. The police department, we've got a lot of personalized photos on their site. People can submit anonymous tips on this form now.
Excuse me, Sue, who will be monitoring this site as far as, like, for the service request or the anonymous tips you might have on the police department?
The anonymous tips will go directly into the police department, and the service request will go directly into the utility office. So it talks about code enforcement. Here's the department history of the book that's available for purchase. I like how they put that photo at the top. That's the top of the book. And then we added some photos down below. Again, they have frequently asked questions, impounded vehicles, parking tickets. There are different programs available. That picture we're adjusting because it's going across his face. You know, how do I request a public record? So here you can see that, again, the frequently asked questions, landfill, the rates, recycling tab, refuse collection tab, special pickups, spring cleanup. That information is already online, and then also the yard waste that takes you back to that other site. Here's the recycling. Swimming pool. One thing that was hard on our other side, it was hard to find the swimming pool. We always got the question, what was the telephone number to the swimming pool? So we're going to be adding, I just sent additional photos of the pool in today, so we're going to be adding those. And here's the hours and the costs. And then attention to that mandatory filing now is in effect. You notice the codes here, the extensions, the frequently asked questions are already there, the forms available online. Some of them are fillable forms. Utility office takes a person through applying for utility service, whether it's residential customers, commercial customers, There's the forms online available. Talks about utility bills, the payment options available, the form you need for automatic payment plan, budget plan, or if you need to terminate service. And again, additional services available, frequently asked questions. And then water and sewer, a lot of that information went today. We are replacing that picture. And this is, it's broken out a lot more than what is listed here. And then the How Do I tab will have all the frequently asked questions on it, and it'll also have contact information if someone has a question that's not answered on the website. And then you can see all the latest news here. If there's current information that we want to draw attention to, we can add it to here as well. And we've done that on a number of sites, whether it be a new hire or a new service. Any questions about?
What is we should all know this, but again, what is is it cityofstmarys.net?
Net. CityStMarys.net.
So you want to tell them about Facebook?
Oh, the city currently has a Facebook page, but when this new website goes online on Friday, we are doing away with the Facebook page. All the information should be available with this site. Kim Ryer took some photos when it snowed last Wednesday. There's some beautiful pictures on here.
We send you pictures?
Pardon me?
Can we send you pictures?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to leave these pictures on for the next 10 years. This is all you're going to see. This is something that's going to evolve. We want to get people enjoying St. Mary's, enjoying, maybe the walk with nature, shopping, at a parade, the Summerfest. Add some history photos.
Dancing on the table in the beer tent.
Only if you, Ryan.
Of you?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Is that what you were doing?
Looks nice, Sue. Nice job.
Excellent.
Thank
After
you.
midnight.
Okay.
Good job, Sue.
She spent a lot of time working on this.
I bet.
And
Somebody told me that.
Sue, you might want to kill one's Jeffrey.
you might want to shut the light off.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
At least the light.
No.
It will go down. It will go off, I'm told.
Yeah, it's got to cool that bulb off.
Yes, it does have to cool down and then it will turn off.
I just
Sorry,
continue
Dan.
with my eyes closed.
Sorry. You want me to put something in front of it?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Thanks, Sue, appreciate it. Any more questions on the website? Sure, if you come up with them any time after this meeting or something, contact Sue anytime during the day. She'll be glad to fill you in. That's all we had scheduled under petitions and communications. If there's anyone else that needs to address council, if not, we'll move on then. The reports from city officials. First, we have the mayor's report.
I have never been into that report.
Questions or comments from council? Now that takes us to the tax commissioner's report.
There's nothing to add to that report.
Again, any questions or comments from council? Not that leaves safety service report. Greg?
I don't have anything to add, but I'd be glad to try to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions or comments? Okay then. Got off lucky today.
Yeah.
So we have other reports from city officials, moving on to reports from committees of council. We have finance committee report. Mr. Harris?
Don't have anything really new to add. Under item 2 in the business, this question's being presented to me. We're looking at about $1,800 for this adder onto the city's website. This will allow the coaches on our youth teams to be able to go in and schedule their fields. Now, we also have a person in-house to referee this, just in case someone tries to hog the good field, so we'll have a referee. But the nice thing about this is with that $1,800, this is gonna be a cost avoidance in relieving this kind of work from people within the city building, so we can free them up to do other work. And basically, it's gonna be an avoidance, we don't have to add to the head count because of this. So this is delaying the next future hire that we need. So it's money well spent. I'll be happy to entertain any other questions with that.
Jim, I think at 18, it's more than $1,800 for the addition on ball diamonds.
Okay.
I think it's, was it 65?
It could go up to 65,
Yeah.
Not to exceed 65.
yes.
So it's 1,800 to possibly 65, depending on how.
I
fancy
think
we
it
get.
was around 3,700 to
Ball
6,500.
diamonds, soccer fields, anything that we have out there in recreation, parks and recreation. City of Worcester has this on their website now, and so they would train our people how to use the site. We'd be up and running.
Right now, Andrea spends a lot of time doing that, trying to keep a handle on that. This would take a lot of burden off her shoulders. With the different groups, once they learn how to use it, be able to do their own scheduling. And be a lot easier to access too, if you
It's only
need,
3 months a year, right? $6,500 for 3 months a year, about, April, May.
for how many years?
May.
If it would be just for 1 year, it
Oh,
probably
it's not
would.
$6,500 a year? It's
No,
No,
no, it's
It's
a
just for
one-time
the
charge.
site.
One-time charge.
One-time charge.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say, that would be
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
How do people, if we're taking away a person's responsibilities for scheduling, because I'm assuming that the Andrea, once she becomes, if we go with that route, that person is no longer there to make that call. So if I'm Joe Smith that doesn't have a computer and I call and say, I want to schedule the park or the shelter house or ball diamond for my kid's birthday, how do I know who to call?
They'll have to call the same person, which is downstairs to Andrea to do that.
That shows you'll be doing that.
That's where you get to the FAQs.
The burden of
If you don't have a
everything.
computer, then you can't get to that
Right.
FAQ.
For the people that don't have a computer, they'll still call into the city office
Yeah.
like they do now. The same service will be there for them.
So then that person will then schedule it and look to see if it's on the schedule.
Right, yeah.
But for those that are tech savvy and that, they're gonna be at the top of the list to get the stuff first. So hopefully they'll have somebody on their team that can go in there and schedule it for them. Each coach will get a password to go in.
You might have to play it on
You
your own.
know, I don't know, maybe I'm being stupid, but back, I can remember when I was a little league coach or whatever, the practices were kind of all scheduled out.
You remember where trucking field was?
Your ball team practiced at such and such a time on certain, you know, if you were on the Royals, before their season started, you knew when your games were, but prior to when your season started, you got to practice at such and such a diamond on such and such a nights and at such and such a time, and that was your time, and somebody else had a different time, and that was all laid out for you when you got your schedule. You know, that's not what we do now, huh?
I don't think so. I don't think that's the way it is now.
I mean, I've been out of that stuff for
Yeah,
We've talked with the
25
folks
years
with
or
the Little
whatever.
League.
That's not how they do it now.
Well, I would think there's nothing that precludes the league. Believe me, I don't know this, but I would think one pathway would be for the league, knowing the system's there, to delegate, hey, kind of work it out among themselves, and then have somebody go in and put it all on the website.
Well, they do theoretically, they already have, they bring their schedule to the city to get the Diamonds scheduled. So as far as their practices and their games, they're scheduled, but if you're a coach that wants to schedule extra practices, or if you have a rain out, or if you have something something, the reason that the game is not scheduled and it's not on the schedule that's currently provided, you have to make those arrangements with the city to schedule those Diamonds. Just from past experiences.
So what I'm saying is, well, that's kind of how it used to be years and years ago. If you were a coach, you were given a master schedule, and it showed, okay, before the season started, you can have practice on this diamond at this time, and this time, and this time, and this time. And, you know, if you get rained out, well, then you want to do on Saturday sometime, then you called and see if you could get a diamond or something like that. But then, so it's pretty much all.
I don't think any of that's changed.
I think that's all the
still-
same, okay.
Still the same. I think this is more along the lines of, there are a lot more teams than used to be that do travel baseball, or, you know, for different age levels. I mean, girls softball has it, boys baseball, junior high baseball. So everybody's competing for the Diamonds to get on there at different times. So you're always, it's the same rush no matter how you do it, whether you're having to plug it into a computer, but if you're a guy or a girl that doesn't have that access, and it's probably more for people that want to use it outside of baseball seasons, you know, that want to schedule. I don't know what else can be scheduled. I didn't really realize it would be used for the soccer fields and the, you know, shelter houses. I'm assuming would be part of that as well.
Yes.
So
One thing about it, Bobby, you're talking about the games are going to be canceled. There will be an automatic email that will be generated to all the coaches that the games will be canceled. So they'll have far advanced notice, you know, maybe in the morning, that they're not going to be able to play that evening because the Diamonds just aren't serviceable. So that will be something else that we can do. The other coaches that, once again, that don't have technology, they're going to have to call in, or they're going to have to go out and find out their game's been canceled. The real benefit to this is, and Jim said it, hit the nail right on the head, is we've got a valuable resource in Andrea that we can be using for economic development and searching for grants for us. And that's the payback to this whole thing, is that, you know, we've got that person available to us instead of being a scheduler.
I understand Andrew knows how to write grants.
She does. We send her to school.
One dovetail to the question I got though from, in regard when I read this, was we were discussing a parks person at some point. Would this fall under that person?
They would work together. The parks manager would work hand in hand with Sue and the other administrators of our website, and Andrea as well. So all three would work together.
Any further questions? Okay. All we had under reports from committees of council was the finance committee report. So we'll move on then to readings of ordinances and resolutions. There's two pieces of legislation this evening. Both are new legislation. There's nothing under third or second reading. First is the monthly emergency appropriations ordinance number 2013-05. I'll accept the motion to read under suspension of rules. Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Fitzgerald. Council vote to read under suspension of rules, please. Oh, yes? What? Right there. You want to vote again? No, this is just to read, Ronnie.
I know.
Okay, okay. We got
I vote no.
5 yeses and Ronnie votes no.
That's right.
Ordinance 2013, I'm just reading it, that was just to read. Ordinance 2013.5, an emergency ordinance to appropriate monies for deficiencies in the original ordinance number 2012-44 and any other appropriations ordinances for the fiscal year 2013 for the city of St. Mary's. You want to take us through this, Greg?
I'll try. The first part of it is, part of it's for the representation for arbitration and the claim that's been filed with the Ohio Civil Rights Commission. There was no way that our supervisor could have been prepared for this. It's things that were filed after the budget was, this year's budget was approved last year, or set last year to approve this year. So we need to build that fund up a little bit for some court proceedings that we have coming. The other part of it was for our elected officials that are traveling to Japan, funding for that. It's been, I believe, 9 years since they've traveled. Am I covering areas you want, Dan? Is that what you're?
No, I just, continue, I just thought of something.
Okay, so some of the funding, additional funding is to help cover the cost of the trip to Japan for 4 of our city officials here. And then the other part is this additional cost for the scheduling aspect of our website.
Yeah, it was a meeting error when we had the motion to read under suspension rules. I asked for that, and vote was 5-1. We need 6 to read under suspension rules. So the only way we can read it,
Can't suspend the rules.
but we can't suspend the rules on it.
So we need a motion to amend the reading.
I don't think we amend that. I think we just,
We'll
It's
read it.
just a first reading.
it's just the first reading.
That's why I voted no. I knew it wasn't legal.
But when we get to the point if we want to pass it, then I'll have to ask for suspension rules again. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Greg.
No, that's okay.
You
I
pretty
think I
much
was
had it.
finished. I hope I covered the areas you wanted me to.
Yeah,
Basically, three additional costs.
yeah, there's a lot of different lines, but they're all pertaining to the same item.
But really, we shouldn't have heard what he said.
No.
You take it all back, right? You take it
No,
all
yeah.
back. You
I
take it
can,
all
I can
back.
recap if you
Yeah, he
want.
can recount it later, because he should have been asked to explain. So we want a motion now just to read ordinance number 2013-05.
You already read
It's
it.
already been read.
Oh, but it's,
This is the first reading.
It's the first reading, and we were able to read it, but we're not gonna be able to, being under suspension of rules did not take effect. But we
the
were
question
able
is,
to
Law
read it.
Director, didn't we vote 5-1 on reading it under
And
suspension?
that failed.
And that failed.
And that failed. So don't
So
we
it's
have
just
to?
considered a reading.
It's
So
just a regular
considered-
reading.
So we don't have to have another motion to just make it a regular reading?
No,
No,
No, we're
it's
good
been
on that.
read.
Okay.
Reading is a reading.
All right.
Do get confused.
now that we've got that cleared up, hopefully. Is there any questions?
I don't have any questions. I just don't agree with. I tell you, I'm not ready for them to go to Japan. That's what my big problem is. The economy's bad. Everybody's talking about money and everything. We got 4 of them going. I'm just against it, but it's a, if I'm the only one that's against it, you don't have any problem flying to Japan.
Well, we haven't been there for 9 years,
That's right, one more won't hurt.
and this is a marketing trip. We've had other trips in the past, and we've got, and through that, and the Sister Cities organization, we have gotten AAP, we've gotten CTEX, we've got Neurotech.
Yeah, we got plenty here right now. That's my feeling.
And I would love to have another 100 to 300 person facility sitting out there on McKinley Road right now, and
Yeah,
increase the workforce.
you don't wanna get too hoggish. Anyhow, that's the way I feel, and
It was unanimous, though, amongst members of the Finance Committee, right? I mean, it comes to us with the blessing of the Finance Committee, correct?
The Finance Committee is supporting this.
The mayor's supporting it, correct?
Yes.
The one thing we need to consider with, Ronnie's obviously gonna vote no to suspend the rules. That means we can't pass this appropriations ordinance this evening. Is there anything on this appropriations ordinance that you absolutely have to have right now?
I think the biggest concern is that, you know, we can't go out and buy airline tickets unless we have money.
Well, that,
Yeah.
I realize the appropriations for the Japan trip are all through here.
Mhm.
But is there anything other than that? We know that Ronnie's gonna vote no on that, so we can't pass that tonight. That's a gimme, but is there something else in this ordinance that you have to have, that we would have to break away from this ordinance in order to get past this evening, if we could convince Ronnie of it? Now then,
You are just against the whole trip, Ronnie, or the fact that we're sending 4 people, or what?
Well, you know, I think they got appropriated money enough for what, 2? And now they wanna send 4, and I just don't think that's necessary.
well, if there's no more discussion, and no more questions, this will be back for its second reading at our next meeting.
There you go.
Then it'll pass. And then it'll pass.
You should. I do what I think's right.
Next, we have ordinance 2013-06. Need a motion to read? Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Fitzgerald. Council, vote to read, please. Yes. Ordinance 2013-6, an ordinance amending section 521.01 of the codified ordinances relating to abandoned refrigerators. Again, Greg, you want to explain this one?
We're just simply trying to update the language in the ordinance to cover appliances that are being made today.
Do you know what changes were made?
Just simply the last,
Oh, the caps?
yes,
Okay.
the last sentence, basically.
Greg?
Sir?
For, this one kind of surprised me. I thought this was state law.
It is. There's a city ordinance on it, too.
'Cause when I read this, I thought that was state law. That we, I just thought we already had this on the books.
We did have-
Everything is on the books other than the bold. Sometimes everything on A is in the
Okay.
ordinance, other than the bold language is new language.
Okay.
Everything else is already existence. It just clarifies that everything that's in small print doesn't apply if it's just solely a magnetic device.
As Craig says, you're putting some teeth in it. Is that what you always think?
Well, no, it should always,
No, actually, it makes an exception if
Yeah.
you
It
just
Makes an
have.
exception if it's just one of those
Right.
that
Because
seals
you
by a
can-
little bit of
You
magnetism,
can
right?
push
it open with your
You wouldn't
hand.
be trapped in it.
Right,
Right.
this is for something that has like a lever handled lock on
Right.
it, that door has to be off.
The old
Whereas the old lid-
refrigerators have, you couldn't,
Right.
if you were trapped inside, you couldn't open the door.
Right, but there's a lot of like chest freezers and stuff like that, you can push up on the lid and the lid
Right.
flies right
Now,
up. right?
now is this wording to bring us in line with state law?
No, actually, this is not in the state law. This is an exception that would just be in our ordinance.
I've got an issue with it. And the main issue I've got is some really little kids could get into this thing and they wouldn't know to push. So I'm thinking, for the kids' sake, if you got one, you got it outside, take the door off.
How would you write up anything different?
I wouldn't pass this, and then if you got it sitting outside, that door's gotta be off. There's no way that kid can be trapped.
Obviously, there's some of these
Isn't
sitting
that what
around
that
that
says?
are not in use, is that what they are?
Correct.
What do people have, them, like storage boxes or some nonsense?
They have them sitting out to be disposed of, or sitting on, outside on their porch with.
And don't have the lids off, or
Correct.
don't have the
Yeah,
door
they're
off?
not- Yeah.
So this would require them to take the door off, to have it sitting out there, right?
Without this additional language, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
them are in.
And it don't take long to knock the door off one of those. I just got reservations about it. Little kids can get in one of them things and they wouldn't know where to push.
Is this addition in line with what other people do, or is this something that we're kind of
I
standing out here on our own?
Yeah, I didn't conduct the research. I talked to.
I was just asked to draft it. Somebody said we want an ordinance and asked us, so. It's up to council, it's a policy decision. If you don't wanna do it, then don't do it.
I'm like you, Jim. I always thought that if your old refrigerator set out, you had to have the door off. But I never went down that road with just one that, just magnetically closes, because I was thinking of the old latching type,
Well, from what I understand, the original law was because we had the latching type, the old style. But some of those magnetic ones may be too strong for the little ones. Now, there's something to be said about someone letting a little one run around to get into that kind of trouble. That's a different story, but I've just got, I've got grave concerns on this.
Most of the refrigerators now are all magnetic. They're not,
Yeah, most of them are, but,
except your commercial ones.
yeah.
Except your commercial ones.
This is the most recent.
Well, at any rate, this is something,
Something to mull over.
I'm-
We don't
I'm
have to
sure-
pass it, right?
the public will find out about it
Right.
and, see what kind of feedback we get on it.
It's like the other.
This is something that has to
It
be
might
passed
be
this evening, so
cheap for you
we
to
don't have to worry about it.
research that a little bit and
We'll
see
discuss
what-
it at the
where
next
you
council
stand
meeting.
on that kind of thing,
So this will be back, for its, second reading at our next meeting.
Very good.
Do you have some house cleaning needs?
Yes,
Jen?
I need to make a motion to excuse Dan Holscher at our previous council meeting.
A motion to excuse me.
Yeah, excuse.
Do I have a
Yeah,
second? Mr. Slemons, council vote to excuse me, please. Thank you very much.
Now I'd like to make a motion to excuse Robin for this council meeting.
Thank you very much. Second by Mr. Fitzgerald. Council vote to excuse Robin. Oh, yes, thank you. Taken care of. Under miscellaneous business and closing, Electric and Communications Committee meeting, March 18th at 6 PM. Okay with everybody? Good with me? Okay, anything else to come before council this evening? Mr. Buck. Motion by Mr. Buck to adjourn, second by Mr. Ginner. Council vote to adjourn, please. All yeses, we're done, thank you.